So let's go ahead and get started. This topic today is about I and me, or I and myself. And you've definitely heard this before because you've heard about ego, and maybe you do or don't fully understand the ego. You've heard maybe of higher and lower self. But there is within you and like every conscious being, there are two yous. And now let's try to parse this apart, because this is the reason why we're talking about the two yous, is so that we can talk about internal talk. Like if there's not two people talking, there's not talk, there's not conversation. So that voice inside of your head that's going on and on and on and on and on and on is actually you talking to yourself. Right? It is. I mean, that's that in the clearest form. So let's now bring some more clarity. The most important part of changing yourself is discerning who's actually in charge of those two voices. Okay. All right, just so you know, that's where we're going today, if you're ready to learn about it. Yesterday we were talking about removing some of the barriers, basically between you and yourself and you and your own understanding, and today was about discovering who I am is. Let's take a look at it this way. When you have a programmer and a program, they both have certain functions. The programmer is intelligent and creative and adaptable. It can accomplish and do anything it wants in any direction it wants. Whereas the program is just a mindless execution of something. It's very predictable. So think of some of your habits and patterns are pretty predictable at this point. I mean, we even go down the path knowing where we're going, and don't stop ourselves because we're just running a program. They're often repetitive. It's not the first time this has happened to you that you lose your shit when something like X, Y, or Z goes down, or the way that you respond emotionally when something happened to you. The program is fixed. It's not gonna change. It is what it is. We think that maybe it won't be what it is, but the only one that changes the program is the programmer. So let's see, the first step to understanding internal talk. I'm gonna say these loud and slow because I want you to understand that you've been aware of this your whole life, constantly in all of your thoughts you're doing this. So think if you've said this inside your head: I'd never be able to live with myself if I did that. I'm ashamed of myself. I hate myself. I can't control myself. I'd never be able to forgive myself. I want to kill myself is the rock bottom. Now, all those statements had I and myself in them, because I is not myself most of the time. These are two different things. I and myself are different, and that's why inside your head you go back and forth telling yourself, myself, what I need to do or how I feel about me or myself. Now think of these other ways of talking to yourself. I surprise myself, right? I surprise myself. Two different people almost exist inside your head. Two different thought patterns are existing in there. I believe in myself. I accept myself. I love myself. So these statements are constantly going on inside your head. Somebody is talking to somebody in there, right? I hope that wasn't too crazy. But you have to discern that inside your head there's two different voices. If you remember when we were kids, I think it was like the Sylvester the Cat show and Tweety and stuff, they used to always show like an angel on one side and a devil on the other, and then they would banter back and forth, and that was supposed to be those voices that are inside your head. We've heard of it in other things. Those of you of the Christian faith, or David and Goliath. David and Goliath are both you. David and Goliath are both you. The giant of your ego seems so uncontrollable, but even the little guy can crush it. Hold on, I had another spot where I had written down a couple things. You seem small, but you can defeat that giant. Myself, that program that seemingly runs without any control, it just repeats itself over and over. You are the programmer. You are the intelligent being. You are the captain. Think of it this way. We don't capitalize a whole lot of things in our English language. Do you know what we always capitalize? I. We always capitalize I. Why? Because we need to be reminded that I am the captain. Not myself, not my ego, not my program. That I control. I am the captain of me. And so that is the most critical part of internal talk. Those of you that work out with me, just like yesterday, Amanda, you were watching me talk to myself while I work out. Come on, Denise. Myself. Come on, Denise. You can do this. Only one more. Come on, Denise. Get up and finish that. I talk to myself all the time. I am in charge of me, my body. So you have to start acting like that. You don't pity yourself, myself. You don't fall short of what you're capable of doing. You tell me what to do. You are in charge all of the time. So start acting like it. Do not become small. Do not become little David and let your ego become the giant, because then you're going to have to stand up to it and knock it down. Now that I hope your mind is blown of how much control you have. You literally tell me what to do all the time, and me has to do it. It's not sometimes. Me follows the big I. I is the captain. It always has been, and it always will be. It is always stronger. Sometimes you don't feel that way, but I have to believe in myself to know that I am stronger than me. So the key to life, to happiness, to joy, to peace, to love, to all of the things that you're seeking is aligning I and me. When I feel like me, when me feels like I, that is joy and happiness. That is calm and content. And most of the time, I hate myself is how we feel. I can't control myself. And those are those awful feelings that we have. That's why the meditation is important. So let's just see. The key to life is aligning I and myself. I am starts with running as... Where do those programs come from that me keeps running? What are those habits? Why are they there? What is going on? Why can't I control myself? Well, we have the environment. We have these systems around us. We go to jobs. We're in marriages. We live in households. We have friendships. We follow things. We watch programs. That is where these systems are that are changing me. They're changing me. They're not changing I. I is stronger than me. But me is changed by these systems, these environments. Who else changes me? Other people change me. Other people don't change I. I am who I am, who I choose to be, who I have discovered about myself. But other people change me. And so sometimes you're doing what you're doing because someone else is programming your me. Do not do that. You are the captain. I am the captain of me. Someone is not the captain of me. You have to push back. You have to get away. You have to turn off those other messages that are changing me. And the other one is the old me. The reason why rock bottom is I want to kill myself is because you are so sick of the way that you programmed yourself in the past. You have to let me die. The old me is no longer serving me. Do you understand why we're changing our habits? The old me doesn't work. You have to get rid of it. You have to replace it. That is all we're doing. We're getting rid of me's old programs that it keeps running, and we're doing new programs. And then the other one is just desire. The universe also moves us. The universe gives us desire and passion and wants and needs, and we don't even really know why. Sometimes they're other people's message, but the universe is always an undercurrent in our life, pushing us and driving us to do things. That's the only time that I am not in charge, because it's running through you. We're going to end on one more thing. Oh, just to think about something. You ever notice when you're doing something wrong and people tell you, they're like, you only care about yourself, or myself is yourself. Yes, yourself is what you're doing it for, and it's wrong, and other people don't like it, and you don't like it. When you're only trying to do something for yourself, it's not the right thing, and other people are going to call you out on it. I am going to call myself out on all of those selfish things that it's doing. So you need to realign. That's what we're doing right now. I know what good habits are, and I am choosing to do new habits. You have to be stronger than me in these old programs. How do we realign? Realign is making I and me the same. The I that knows the right, the good, the beautiful, the angel, the pure. The I knows how to get me to do it. I know how to get me to do it. And the way we do things like that to align my I and me are not just coercion, right? Like that doesn't usually work. Shaming ourselves does not usually work. That's why we're doing meditation. Meditation, prayer. And now you don't have to think of prayer in the religious reciting sense. I'm talking about connecting to the universe and understanding and feeling back and forth. Prayer is a feeling more than it is a recitation. Reflection. What is me doing and what do I want to do? And the most powerful of all is contemplation. To contemplate your own existence. To ask yourself the question, who am I? Who am I? And then it brings up things like my biological system, my environmental systems, my mental systems. Who am I? Why do I choose this? Nature does that because nature is its own I. Yoga, connecting with others, the namaste. I see the I in you. So I hope you guys learned a little bit. This is just like the first stepping stone, so it doesn't actually feel complete. You're going to watch this, and you're just going to feel like you want to hear more, and you want to know more, and you want to be more. But this is just the first step, so I'm going to end it here really shortly. You have to start slowing down. I think many of you have heard the saying, be still and know. Be still and know. Means, is that I speaking or is that me speaking? Be still and know. Does it grow? Does that feeling have love behind it? What is it? Be still and know the voice that is I. And the last thing, this is what I use all the time, and then it really has some profound message to me. I don't know if you can see it. This is Martin Luther King Jr., and I'm going to read this quote because I say this quote to myself all of the time. This one is burned into my mind. Use me, God. Show me how to take who I am, who I want to be, and what I can do, and use it for a purpose greater than myself. Be the strongest I you can possibly be. And then when you go out into the world, you improve the world. Until then, you're only fighting with yourself. And myself and you could fight forever. Accept myself, believe in myself, love myself, and then go out and you will begin to change the world.